Charlie Tansel, President of PR, Social, and Influence at Ogilvy North America, talks to host Doug Simon on PR's Top Pros Talk.
Charlie, I think it would be great if you could start by just sharing sort of the top line of your huge role and what you're involved in. I know that could be the whole show just running through that, but maybe if you can top line it for us.
Sure. Yeah. After 16 years at Ogilvy, if you can believe it, I've had several different roles, but for the past 2 years or so, I've been leading our PR business in North America. And the way that we're structured is that social media and influencer marketing fall into the PR business. So that's the scope of my responsibility.
What are some of your top tips for integrating influencer marketing and social media marketing into PR so it all runs smoothly?
We have a foundational belief that social and influencer is such a critical component of modern creative communications. And if we think about how reputation and brands are built today, it's really through real people. It's through how brands are experienced in social media and digital experiences. So, at Ogilvy PR, we really plan and execute in a highly integrated way. In fact, whereas a lot of PR agencies are organized around industry, if it's brand, corporate, public affairs, government, we're organized around capabilities. So social, PR, influence, and innovation, because of that sort of foundational belief. And then in terms of the how, social listening and data is so important to identifying those human truths and those insights to find that sticky earn first ideas that are, conceived to be shared, that have some sort of tension that we're resolving. And then that, with that big idea, we plan and distribution and how that idea shows up in the right ways, in the right places, on the right platforms that meets how consumers behave today.
Yeah, and you mentioned the earn first creative mindset, and I love it when people who are like smarter and more successful and they say something sort of aligns with how I see things. So that's really great. But how do you then integrate that earn first mentality when you're talking about modern and immersive experiences?
Yeah, I love that word, immersive, and I think it's so representative of modern creative communications. We really think about immersive as multi-layered, multi-channeled storytelling, even, programs that evolve over weeks or over months with multiple touch points and moments of consumer interaction. And that, it's not a single moment or we're going to hijack this, cultural moment. It's really about, in a methodical way, planning and orchestrating experiences that are memorable, that embody the brand, that allow people to get to know and to connect with the brand in a whole new way, and really that give consumers an opportunity to participate, because especially the younger generation, they have that expectation of brands. They don't want brands that speak at them with messages. They want brands that, that listen and co-create and empathize and speak through actions, not through words. And they want to be a part of the fun, informing, or utilitarian ideas that we're creating.
One of the really fun immersive earn first ideas that you were involved in, which has worked phenomenally well, you've gotten multiple awards from so many different platforms, was changing sort of Michael Cera's name to Michael Cera V, if you will, when he was claiming that he was really the inventor of the product that went out across, like I said, multiple media levels. So can you share a little bit of the process behind that?
Absolutely. Yeah, we had so much fun with that campaign, as you can imagine. As mentioned earlier, we did what we always do, which is we started with social listening to find sort of insights or inspiration to come up with our big idea. And in doing so, we dug deep on Reddit and had found a Reddit post from 7 years ago from someone sort of surmising whether there was a connection between Michael Cera and CeraVe. And we saw the potential of it. And we came up with the idea to essentially plant a rumor across the internet that Michael Cera was the founder of CeraVe, when the reality of CeraVe is that their core proposition is that they were developed with dermatologists. So by sort of creating this rumor, it allowed us to come back in and say, actually, no, we're not created with Michael Cera. We're developed with dermatologists. And if you followed the campaign, you saw we sort of methodically rolled it out across many different channels leading up to the Super Bowl. We actually had a fleet of 450 influencers helping us sort of stir the speculation and the drama, and really bringing our audiences along for a ride. We had some hero influencers, Bobby Altoff, who sort of interviewed him and then further spurred the rumors. And it all culminated with our Super Bowl commercial, in which we sort of cleared the air and said, listen, CeraVe said, listen, we're not associated with Michael Cera. And we actually got an exclusive. We had, meticulously planned the earned media every step of the way. So for example, when we had planted the rumors and we're spreading the rumors, we, whether it was Page Six or People Magazine or Daily Mail, we enlisted their support, and we partnered very closely with media every step of the way to help sort of build that drama and release throughout those 3.5 weeks. And that all sort of culminated with an exclusive with the New York Times, who alongside the commercial sort of revealed the full story. So it was such a fun campaign, sort of beginning to end, and we couldn't begin to imagine how the internet responded to it. It far surpassed any sort of expectation that we had, but turns out the rumor resonated, I suppose.
No, it definitely did. And I don't know if this was actually part of your action, but a friend of mine who I've known for years told our whole friend group that his son was working on a Super Bowl commercial. Yeah. So we should watch the Michael Cera spot specifically. So you got the word out to me as well. So that worked out.
Well, that says a lot. Yes.
No, we were definitely watching. I even texted him right out how great it was and congratulating him. And then I wasn't the first to offer awards, but maybe I was just part of that. But really how thorough your marketing is, and sort of does talk about the word of mouth and making these campaigns work across platforms. One of the things you're seeing, we talk about a lot on the show, is the CMO's role changing and how it affects communications overall. And you've had a number of leadership roles at Ogilvy. So I think you're really in a great position to talk about that a little bit for us.
I mean, at Ogilvy, we have 5 core businesses: advertising, PR, consulting, Ogilvy One, which is our digital business, and Ogilvy Health. So as you can imagine, given sort of the breadth and depth of our capabilities, we're often working with big companies and up to the CMO level. And we really integrate seamlessly across those businesses. So, even though I lead our PR business, oftentimes we're working up to the CMO level in addition to the, chief communications officer level. And definitely what we've seen in the last couple of years across some of our biggest Ogilvy clients is that CMOs are coming in with heavy sort of comms backgrounds and are thinking a lot about reputation and are increasingly sort of digitally native and thinking about social media and influencer marketing and really putting it at the center of not just their comms, but their marketing overall. So that's been, and it makes sense, right? Because these brands, they're trying to connect and capture Gen Z and the pockets of Gen Z, and that this is just a generation that demands very different things from brands, and just fundamental different ways of working, different ways of approaching, business problems and business opportunities. So, it's been an interesting sort of sort of evolution. So, we have our own PR clients, but we're also integrating very deeply into our creative AOR relationships, putting sort of that earned first mentality and expertise at the center of marketing.
Yeah, and the silos have broken down so much. Increasingly, the PR function is about generating revenue for the
Yes.
company when that used to be just a marketing function. Now, you've also had creative roles, strategy roles, in addition to what you're currently working on. Obviously, that would give you a leg up on
Mhm.
figuring out how you integrate all these things. What are some of the top things to keep in mind when you're trying to make sure that a creative idea can work across these multiple different packages, approaches, medium, however you want to call it?
I think it's so important to start with your audience, right? Who are you talking to? How do they behave? What platforms are they on? And if you're talking about a specific, a brand, or if it's the Olympics, or what have you, what are cultural conversations about that topic that already exists, right? And that might get you to, an opportunity to reactively jump into something, or proactively sort of drive a specific experience that people are after. So I think it's so important to just have almost an obsession with your audience, right? And because sometimes we can get in the mindset of in our own bubbles, right? Of, this is my
Of course.
brand, I'm launching this product at this time, and I need people to understand this about this message about this product, but people don't care. You just got to remember, people don't care. So
Right.
you gotta help them care by putting it in their terms, and in a way that'll truly sort of entertain or help them in some way.
Yeah, and I guess that can even work if you're sort of social media news jacking
Mhm.
something from 7 years ago, like that
Mhm.
Reddit conversation about Michael Cera, to
Yeah.
spur ideas. Any final thoughts you want to leave the audience with?
TikTok is just a treasure trove of insights and opportunities. I mean, we always say, TikTok isn't really competing with Instagram, it's competing with Netflix. People
Mm,
are choosing to watch TikTok and educate themselves on various subjects, right? And, sort of for better or for worse, that is sort of the reality of how behavior is going. So, but one incredible opportunity for brands that are sort of brave enough to go on the platform, or at minimum just be actively listening to the platform and
right.
to better understand how people perceive you, and your industry and your category. So just, yeah, just what an incredible opportunity there.
Well, this has been an incredible opportunity for me to speak to
Um,
you, and I'm sure our viewers will benefit from hearing what you have to say. Congrats on your continued success.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the time and the opportunity to be on here.